Under center versus non-under center plays comparison. Runs, UC runs, 9 plays, average 2.22 yards per carry, total 20 yards. Success rate, positive yards, 78%. Tend to be short gain traps zones, e.g. UC zone middle 3, with occasional bursts 9, but higher stuff, sheer fumble risk, -10 versus LB blitz. Non-UC runs, 9 plays, average 4.22 yards per carry, total 38 yards, success rate 78%. More consistent gains via motion zones, e.g. motion left zone, middle 0, but highs like 9. Fewer negatives. Comparison. Non-UC runs outperform in average yards, 4.22 versus 2.22, suggesting better blocking, sharp explosiveness from shotgun. Similar success rates mask UC's higher variance, fumbles/stuffs. Aligns Colts run D strengths, low YPG allowed, but weaknesses to schemed motion, non-UC gains. Passes, UC passes, 2 plays, average 0.5 yards per attempt, total 1 yard, success rate 50%. Limited to play action shorts, e.g. boot RB out 2, chip check down -1, low volume, just risk. Non-UC passes, 31 plays, average 6.97 yards per attempt, total 216 yards, success rate 65%. Diverse, quick ins 4 to 9, mids 14 to 17, deeps 25. More incompletes where I showed negatives but higher upside. Comparison, non-UC passes far superior in volume, average 6.97 versus 0.5, exploiting Colts mid-deep vulnerabilities, e.g. go 35, comeback 16. UC passes conservative, low impact. Matches pass charts short mid-rights, non-UC curls, slant 7 to 9, and deep hits, 25 plus, with UC as minor short elements, checkdowns outs approximately 0 to 2, potential incompletes. Overall, UC skewed to runs, 9 out of 11 plays, non-UC to passes, 31 out of 40. Non-UC more efficient across types, per Colts stats, strong run D forces short UC gains, weak pass D yields non-UC yards. Play categorization by run and pass, run plays. Wide zone right, left, 3 to 5. Zone right, left to middle, 0 to 9. Draw, 8. Motion left, right, wide zone, 0 to 10. Versus LB blitz fumble, -10. Outcomes, frequent stuffs, 0 to 3, 40% of new runs. Gains 5 to 10 on motion pulls, 30%. Negatives rare but costly. Overall average approximately 3.5 yards per carry in clips, schemed bursts. Pass plays, quick in, slant, 4 to 10. Chip check down, -1. Go 35. RB screen, swing, -70. Corner out, 25. Curl wheel, 0 to 8. Deep comeback, 16. Fake slant, 15. Flood crosser, 0. War screen, 17. Post, 15 to 17. Pay boot out, 2. Scramble, 6. Bears blitz/press notes. Outcomes, quick mid, 4 to 17 yards. Successes, 50%. Deep, 25 to 35 hits. Wheels floods often 0. Incompletes 40%. Negatives from pressure/screens. Pass plays, analysis versus Rams. Pass chart. Completions, short, middle, or right, 0 to 10 yards curls, slants, checkdowns 4 to 9. Mid-right, 10 to 20 comebacks, posts, crossers 15 to 17. Deep left-right, 20 plus go corner, 25 to 35, including 88-yard touchdown not in clips. Touchdowns short, right, mid-middle, deep. Incompletes deep, left short, left mid. Wheels flood 0. Match new plays align, quick ins, slants, short mid-right completions. Curls, mid-curls. Comebacks, posts, mid-deep rights. Go corner, deep successes. Wheels, screens, floods, crossers, 0, incompletes. Checkdowns, boots low, neg, short and completes, pressure. Scramble 6, mid-gains. Motion/blitz notes explain quick throws versus pressure, enabling deep shots, 375 yards total per recaps. Exploitation, Rams targeted Colts mid-pack pass D21st, but top D VOA minus 20.2% passing def, fourth per FTN. Quick game versus blitz, press, notes, motion for open drags, curls, notes, looks open. Deep vulnerabilities exposed. Colts run defense strengths and weaknesses. Strengths: 96 rush allowed, ninth per Yahoo. Low volume efficiency, solid points allowed 20.8 per game, 12th. Weaknesses: rush DVOA minus 4.1%, 24th per FTN, inefficient/play. Vulnerable to schemed runs, motion/pulls allowing 5 to 10 yards in clips. Fumbles forced but explosives conceded. Comparison to sources: plays stuffed runs, 0 to 3, match strong YPG, motion gains, 9 to 10, aligned DVOA weakness, exploitable fits. Early 2025 confirms average, not elite. Rams rallied balanced per recap. The Colts allowed 477 yards, 375 passing, 102 rushing, which aligns closely with the provided stats snapshot. Rams mounted a late comeback, scoring 2 touchdowns in the final 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Key factors included the Colts' inability to close out drives and a critical fumble recovery, but they forced mistakes like a botched handoff. Overall, the Colts' defense showed resilience but struggled against the pass, allowing the Rams to exploit aerial attacks for the win. Pass defense analysis. This highlights vulnerability in coverage, as the Rams averaged approximately 9.1 yards per pass. Per the glossary, EPA/pass plus 0.33 in provided stats indicates above-average efficiency for the opponent, suggesting the Colts struggled with target separation, September 3.3, and quick pressure, QBP 16, QBP percent 35.6%. Blitz rate was 22.2%, but sack rate, 6.7%, was low, allowing Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford, assumed starter based on historical context, to operate effectively. Strengths: forced tight windows, TW percent not specified, but implied by 2.81 TTP, and some hurry, get off 0.89. Run defense analysis. The Colts held the Rams to 102 rushing yards on 26 attempts, averaging 3.9 yards per rush, YPP. No rushing touchdowns were allowed, TD0 in provided stats, with negative EPA/rush, negative 0.35, indicating effective stops. They stuffed 19.2% of runs and limited 10-plus yard gains to 4. Box counts showed 26.9% in, 65.4% out, 38.5% light, 0% stacked, suggesting balanced fronts that contained explosive plays, RYOE minus 4, RYOE/at minus 0.19. Weakness: allowed consistent short gains, but overall a strong performance compared to pass defense. Strengths and weaknesses. Strengths: run stuffing, stuff percent 19.2%, negative EPA/rush, and quick pressure generation, TTP 2.65, TTS 2.65. Limited big plays on the ground, 10-plus yards 4. Weaknesses: pass rush consistency, QBP percent 35.6%, but low conversion to sacks, and coverage, pass YPP 8.2, high YPG. Late game collapse allowed comeback despite earlier control. Context: this loss exposed pass vulnerabilities, but run defense remains an asset. Rams offense ranks mid-tier in 2025. Key statistical comparison. Using the provided Rams game stats and Colts season defensive metrics. Notes: Rams exceeded by 44%, indicating dominance, 52% above average. Rams exploited pass defense, slightly above average. Balanced but not explosive. Efficient overall output. High efficiency suggests poor coverage by Colts. Average: Colts limited big runs, 0 rushing touchdowns. Rams scored efficiently through air. Colts generated pressure, 35.6% QBP rating game. Rams protected ball well per stats. The Rams' 462 yards represent about 36% of the Colts' season total allowed, underscoring a standout offensive game. Rams' offensive strengths exposed. Passing game dominance. The Rams thrived in the air. This aligns with their plus 60 YACOE, yards after catch over expected, suggesting receivers created extra yardage post-catch. The 3 passing touchdowns and low sack rate, 6.8%, despite 22.7% blitz rate, indicate strong protection and quick releases. Efficiency metrics, plus 0.08 EPA/play overall and 2.81 TTP time to pressure, show the Rams handled pressure well. 35.6% QBP rate faced. Average separation, 3.3 for receivers, was solid, aiding completions. Balanced attack, 62.9% pass rate with 26 runs, kept the defense honest, though rushing was mediocre, 3.9 YPP, minus 0.35 EPA per rush, 50% success rate. Colts defensive weaknesses exploited. Pass defense vulnerabilities, allowing 360 passing yards far exceeded their 236.5 YPG average, highlighting issues in coverage. The Colts ranked 20th in pressure rate, 27.4% entering Week 4, and while they recorded 3 sacks and 16 pressures, it wasn't enough to disrupt the Rams' rhythm, only 2.65 TTDT, time to throw. Run defense strength held Rams to 102 rushing yards, close to 96 YPG average, with 19.2% stuffed rate and no 10-plus yard runs allowed. This suggests a stout front, limiting RYOE-4 and forcing inefficient carries. 1.76 YBC per ATT, 2.24 YAC per ATT. Overall pressure and blitz. 22.7% blitz rate yielded moderate success, but the Rams' plus 60 YACOE indicates secondary struggles in tackling after catches. No forced turnovers in the game, per available data, aligns with their 1.0 interception per game average. Implications and outlook. The Rams' offense overwhelmed the Colts' defense, particularly through the air. This performance boosts the Rams' rankings, e.g. number 1 in several categories post-game, showcasing Sean McVay's scheme against a defense with emerging vulnerabilities in pass rush and coverage. For future games, the Colts may need to bolster their secondary and pressure generation, e.g. relying more on D.E. Laiatulatu, while the Rams' balanced, efficient attack positions them well against similar defenses. The Colts' defense faced a potent Rams offense. The unit recorded 3 sacks and forced 1 turnover, a fumble recovery, but failed to intercept Matthew Stafford. The defense played 70 snaps with strong snap counts from linebackers and secondary players, but struggled in coverage and generating consistent pressure. Pass defense. The Colts allowed 29 completions on 41 attempts, 70.7% completion rate, for 375 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a passer rating of approximately 130.1 against them. Coverage was a weakness, with 42 targets resulting in 33 receptions, 78.6% catch rate allowed, for 385 yards allowed. Some discrepancy due to YAC. Key metrics: average separation, 3.5 yards across targeted defenders. Tight window percent, 14.3% average. Hawk percent, ball hawk opportunities, 9.5% average. Yak per reception, 4.8 average. The secondary was exploited, particularly by Puka Nacua, 13 receptions, 170 yards, 1 touchdown, and Tutu Atwell, 88-yard touchdown, with Mickey Blackman falling in coverage on the game winner. Run defense. The Colts held the Rams to 102 rushing yards on 26 attempts, 3.9 average, with no rushing touchdowns. They recorded 28 tackles on run plays, 33 stops, hustles combined, and limited big plays, longest run, 11 yards. Defensive linemen dominated run snaps. This was a strength, as the Rams' Kieran Williams was limited to 77 yards on 13 carries. Pass rush. The unit generated 3 sacks and 20 quarterback pressures on 41 dropbacks. QBP percent, 17.4% average among rushers. Average time to pressure, 3.0 seconds. Key contributors: DeForest Buckner led in pass rush snaps, 35, but had no sacks, focusing on interior disruption, 3 quarterback pressures. Standout players: DeForest Buckner, DL, high snap count, 80%, 8 TKLs, 6 stops, 35 P rush snaps, 3 QBPs. Anchored the line in run and pass. Nick Cross, DB. 100% snaps, 14 TKLs, 5 stops, 0.5 sack, 2 QBPs. Versatile in coverage and blitz, 50% QBP on blitzes. Laitu Latu, DL, 1 sack, 5 QBPs, fumble recovery, per recap. Effective edge rusher with quick get-off. Zaire Franklin, LB, 100% snaps, 7 TKLs, 5 stops, strong coverage, 25% catch allowed. Areas for improvement. Coverage breakdowns allowed explosive plays, e.g., 88-yard touchdown, 170 yards to Nakua, with negative EPA in coverage for most DBs. Secondary depth was thin, with backups like Jonathan Edwards and Rodney Thomas allowing high ratings. Lack of interceptions and only 1 forced turnover highlight missed opportunities against a clean Stafford. Blitz rate was low overall, average approximately 20% among DBS/LBS, potentially allowing more time for deep throws. The Rams receivers and pass catchers accumulated 29 receptions on 40 targets for 375 yards and 3 touchdowns, achieving a 72.5% catch rate. This indicates a dominant performance by the Rams' passing attack, as the Colts' defense allowed substantial yardage and scoring through the air. Key performers. Puka Nakua, WR, led with 15 targets, 13 receptions, 170 yards and 1 touchdown. His 13.1 yards per reception and 86.7% catch rate highlight volume and reliability. Tutu Atwell, WR, 2 targets, 1 reception, 88 yards, 1 touchdown. A standout big play threat with exceptional post-catch ability. Devontae Adams, WR, 6 targets, 4 receptions, 56 yards, 1 touchdown. Efficient contributor with a 66.7% catch rate. Tyler Higbee, TE, 5 targets, 2 receptions, 25 yards. Lower volume but positive impact. Advanced metrics insights. Efficiency and expected performance. High positive rec EPA across top receivers. Nakua plus 14.9, Atwell plus 4.8, Adams plus 4.9. Showing plays exceeded expected point value. CROE, catch rate over expected, was strong for Nakua plus 13.7% and Adams plus 10.8%, but negative for Atwell minus 3.1% due to low volume. Yards after catch, total YAC contributed significantly, e.g. Atwell's 64 YC and plus 64 YACOE suggest breaking tackles for explosive gains. Nakua had 59 YOC plus 3 YROE, while Adams was below expected minus 4 YROE. Target depth and separation, average air yards per target, AYTGT, indicate mix of short and deep throws, Atwell 18.8, Nakua 10.8. Average separation, was highest for Atwell, 5.5 yards, aiding his big play. Deep percent shows Nakua 20% and Williams 0% focused shorter. Overall defense struggle, Colts allowed high YDAs per reception, e.g. Nakua 4.6, and positive EPA per target for key players, suggesting coverage breakdowns and poor tackling. Conclusion. The Rams receivers exploited the Colts defense effectively, leveraging separation, YAC, and efficient catching for a high-output game. The Colts' pass defense appeared vulnerable to both volume, Nakua, and explosive plays, Atwell, potentially due to mismatches in coverage. This matchup favored the Rams' aerial attack, contributing to what was likely a win or high-scoring affair for Los Angeles. Rams rushing stats. Advanced metrics. No stacked boxes, 0% for all players, indicating the Colts did not heavily load against the run. Williams achieved 3 runs of 10-plus yards and 2 of 15-plus miles per hour. Corum had 1 of 10-plus yards and 2 of 15-plus miles per hour. Turnovers, fumbles. Williams had 1 fumble, lost, contributing to the botched handoff. Key performances. Kyren Williams, dominated with efficient gains, outperforming expectations plus 11 RYOE total. His 84.6% success rate shows most carries advance the offense positively. High Yako, 3.2 per attempt, indicates strong post-contact running, breaking through the Colts' front. However, the fumble was costly. Blake Corum struggled significantly, underperforming expectations, minus 13 ROA. Low success rate, 22.2%, and Yako, 1.8 per attempt, suggests the Colts defense contained him effectively, limiting burst. Matthew Stafford, minimal impact, typical for quarterback scrambles and sneaks. Negative RYOE reflects situational inefficiency. Overall, the Rams' run game was inconsistent, relying heavily on Williams, 50% of attempts, 75% of yards. The 3.9 YPC was below Williams' output, dragged down by Corum and Stafford. Colts season run defense. Through Week 4 of 2025, Colts allowed 4.5 to 4.8 yards per carry on average. Pre-game average approximately 4.8 yards per carry. Through Week 3, September average 4.5 yards per carry. Ranked mid-tier in run defense, with vulnerabilities to explosive runs, 27th in explosive run rate, allowed on early downs at 12%, but 7th in YPC, allowed at 4.0 based on prior year trends adjusted for 2025 previews. Allowed approximately 147 rushing yards per game in some contexts, but strong in success rate allowed, 6th at 24% on first-second downs. Advanced rush EPA around minus 0.04, indicating slightly above average efficiency in limiting expected points from runs. The Rams' 3.9 yards per carry was below the Colts' season average, suggesting the defense performed well overall despite Williams' success. The Colts exploited mismatches, e.g. containing Corum, but allowed big plays to Williams, aligning with their explosive run vulnerability. No stacked boxes helped the Rams, but penalties, 11 total, disrupted Colts' defensive rhythm. Insights. The Rams' rushing attack exposed Colts' inconsistencies. Williams thrived against lighter fronts, 76.9% UC percent, possibly under center, gaining yards after contact and overexpected. Corum's poor output highlights potential depth issues for Rams if Williams is limited. For the Colts, this game underscored run defense flaws, allowing 102 yards despite below-average YPC, exacerbated by penalties and turnovers. In a close loss, better run containment could have shifted the outcome. Moving forward, the Colts defense, allowing 462 total yards, most since 2024 Week 5, needs to address explosive plays while the Rams should diversify beyond Williams for balance. Overall performance. Matthew Stafford delivered an outstanding performance. His yards per attempt, YPA, was 9.1, with a completion percentage over expected, CPOE, of plus 2.7%, indicating he slightly outperformed expectations based on play situations. Stafford's expected points added, EPA, was plus 14.6 across 45 dropbacks, DB, yielding an EPA per DB of plus 0.32, reflecting efficient value added per play. He faced pressure on 35.6% of dropbacks, QBP percent, taking 3 sacks with an average time to throw, TTT, of 2.65 seconds. This marked Stafford's highest passing yardage in a single game. VS Colts defense. The 2025 Colts defense ranks mid-tier entering Week 5, 12th in overall defensive stats per Fox Sports, 14th in defensive EPA per play, negative 0.05 per Sumer Sports, negative EPA is favorable for defenses, and 15th in points per drive allowed, 1.96 after Week 3 per Stampede Blue. In passing defense, per NFL.com stats, they allow moderate yards but rank around league average in touchdowns conceded, with a pressure rate, QBP percent, contributing to opponent disruptions. Stafford excelled against this unit, exploiting coverage lapses for big plays, e.g. the 88-yard touchdown. The Colts forced 3 sacks and a fumble, recovered by defensive tackle Adetomiwa Adebawor. Using strategies like blitzes, 22.2% blitz rate in the game, Pierre provided stats, and challenging plays, e.g. overturning a quarterback sneak. Key Colts defenders included OLB Jared Verse, strip sack, and the secondary, but they couldn't contain Stafford's deep ball, 9.8% deep pass rate, or fourth quarter precision. His plus 14.6 EPA highlights how he generated positive outcomes despite pressure on 16 of 45 dropbacks. Comparison to peers, in Week 4 EPA rankings per provided table, Stafford's plus 14.6 placed him fifth among QBs. Dak Prescott, DIL, plus 22.5 first. Jordan Love, GB, plus 21.7 second. Drake May, NE, plus 20.0 third. Michael Penix Jr., ATL, plus 19.6 fourth. Bo Nix, Den, plus 13.3 sixth. Stafford's output was strong but trailed top performers in raw EPA, though his yardage and efficiency stood out in a comeback scenario against a solid defense. The Indianapolis Colts defense features several key players with notable strengths and weaknesses in coverage and tackling, as detailed in the provided metrics for those with at least 3 games played. G greater than or equal to 3. Cornerback CB Xavier Howard with 141 coverage snaps, COV snaps, demonstrates strength in handling high target volume, 22 targets, and achieving a low National Football League NFL passer rating against 19.2, alongside solid snaps per target, STGT, at 5.9, and good tackling, 8 tackles or TKL, 1 assist or AST. However, his weaknesses include a high reception percentage, REC percent at 72.7%, substantial yards allowed, 195, elevated yards per reception, Y/REC at 12.2, moderate yards after catch, YAC at 62, no forced incompletions, FI at 0, no pass breakups, PBU or interceptions, INT, 3 dropped interceptions, DRI, and a missed tackle rate, MIS percent at 18.2%, while allowing approximately 3 touchdowns. Linebacker LB Joe Bacci, on 70 COV snaps, excels in run support with 10 TKL and 6 defensive stops, plus a low MIS percent, 8.3%, but struggles in coverage with 100% erect percent, 131 yards allowed, high YAC 57, low STGT 4.3, and no FI PBU or INT. LB Zaire Franklin, with 138 COV snaps, manages high volume effectively with a 70% rec percent, low Y rec 9.6, 10% FI, 2 PBU, no TDS allowed, strong tackling, 13 TKL, 5 AST, 4 stop, and low NFL rating against 8.5, though he permits moderate yards 135, high YX 83, and 10% MIS. CB Kenny Moore 2 on 87 COV snaps shows solid REC percent, 64.3%, low yards 85, and Y/REC 9.4, 7.1% FY, 1 PBU and NT, low NFL rating 75.0, and 0% MIS, but has high YAC 68 and a 37.5% MS rate. Safety S, Nick Cross, with 144 COV snaps, limits REC percent to 58.3% and faces deep throws, average depth of target or ADOT at 11.2, while achieving 0% MIS and 7 STOP, yet allows moderate yards 82, 1 TD, high NFL rating, potentially 106.9 based on parsing, and no FI, PBU, or INT. CB Chavarus Ward, on 124 COV snaps, performs well with 63.6% rec cent, low yards 46, and Y rec 6.6, high FI percent 27%, 3 PBU, low YAC 15, and low MES percent 25%, but on a small sample, 11 targets, with 1 DRI and 2 MIS. CB Mickey Blackmon, with 102 COV snaps, offers 100% coverage percentage, COV percent, 11% FI, 1 PBU and INT, and good tackling, 11 TKL, 4 stop, but is vulnerable to big plays with 66.7% R, EC percent, 137 yards, high YREC, 22.8, high YAC, 71, high ADOT, 12.8, and 13.3% MIS. S. Cameron Bynum on 147 COV snaps handles volume with 66.7% R, EC percent, 33% FI, 1 PBU, 2 ENT, and 0% MIS, though on limited targets, 3, with moderate yards, 20. Other players like Rhodey Thomas II and Austin Ajak have small samples, often with high REC percent but low yards. The quarterback QB pass charts illustrate performance against the Colts in 2025 games, highlighting how defensive traits align with outcomes. Tennessee Titans quarterback Cam Ward's chart, 23 completions out of 38 attempts, 219 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, negative 2.9% completion percentage over expected or CPOE, reflects a conservative style with many short, left-middle passes, mostly complete, sparse deep attempts including 1 touchdown and 1 interception, suggesting the defense pressured his short game into underperformance. Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa's chart, 14 of 23, 114 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, minus 7.4% CPOE, shows struggles with limited clustered short middle throws, 1 short touchdown, and 2 interceptions, 1 medium, 1 deep, indicating dominance by the Colts leading to low yards and high turnovers. Los Angeles Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford's chart, 29 of 41, 375 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 0 fumbles, plus 2.7% CPOE, displays aggressive deep throws with numerous medium-deep completes and TDs spread out, no turnovers, and exceeded expectations, exploiting defensive gaps. Denver Broncos quarterback Bo Nix's chart, 22 out of 30, 206 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1 fumble. Negative 0.7% CPOE, focuses on efficient short-medium passes with clustered completes, 3 TDs, and 1 INT, yielding solid rates but modest yards. Comparing these reveals the Colts' vulnerabilities to deep passes, as Stafford's high yards and TDs align with weaknesses in CBS like Blackman, high ADOT and Y/REC, and Howard high yards/TDS, with charts showing exploitation on deep sides. Conversely, strengths in short/middle disruption, e.g. Ward's low Y/rec and high FI percent, Franklin's PBUS and no TDS, force errors in Tua and Ward's charts, high INTS, low yards. Turnover creation, e.g. Moore 2 and Bynum's INTs, matches INTs against Tua Ward, but missed opportunities, high DRI like Howard's 3, allow Stafford's clean sheet. Overall, the secondary is resilient to volume but inconsistent, excelling against quick-release QBs, Tua Ward, over 2 interceptions, under 220 yards, via short game pressure, yet struggling versus deep threats, Stafford, 375 yards. Nix's efficiency suggests middle field issues. The defense allows about 914 total pass yards across 4 games, roughly 228 per game, moderate but TD heavy, 8+, recommending deep coverage schemes and leveraging tackling strengths for better balance.